Okay, chat, Bant Midrange. We had tried a different Bant Midrange variation. Actually had quite a bit different cards from this one. And I always like to prefix deck text for decks like this with, one, this is a viewer submission, so we're starting card for card with something someone else has sent me. But two, there's a ton of iterations and the ways you could build this archetype, right? Like even looking inside of this particular build, there's a lot of 1s and 3s and 2s in here for cards that you could flex and tune in different ways. I by no means have strong certainty the choices in here are optimal or inoptimal. We're going to start with what's been sent in and play games from there. I will say a lot of the cards in this deck are pretty individually powerful. Brokers Ascendancy was a card that felt really strong. In the other Bant shell that we've played, Elspeth Resplendent is another card I've been really impressed with. Sanctuary Warden was really sweet inside of Angels when we played it the other day. I'm interested to see it in this non-tribal variation. So let's go ahead and pop on into some matches with this Bant variation and see if we can develop some opinions about what it has going on. Our shield counter's good, contextual. I will note, and again, context being everything, that shield counters seem better on multicolored cards because multicolored cards don't get Vanishing Verse, which is the most common form of exile removal. Triumph. Whoa, someone's playing venture cards in standard? Oh, they're just doing there's like Esper Midrange in play. This is a fair card. I didn't do a double take when this is a 1/1 for a second. I haven't seen anybody play this card in standard in forever. Ooh, you know what? I should make a note. We should try Abzan Venture into the Dungeon in Alchemy now that we have, what's it called? Is, we have a Triumph now. Oh, you're right. We actually don't have a Triumph. Yeah, you're right. Abzan's a color combination we don't have in standard. Good shout. Good shout. I was testing you. You passed, chat. Maybe we should try Esper Venture then in Alchemy.
Harms my people must contend with me.
Like a fart in the wind, they're gone, shit. Goodbye, friend. Broker Ascendancy, letting Emperor downtick 2 turns in a row, or exile something and then immediately make a 2/2 is kind of nice. Just a hair late on outsizing their meat hook. Brokers Ascendancy has felt like a genuinely powerful effect. I've liked it. I've liked it a lot in the constructed games we've played so far. Is Brokers just proliferate? No, it puts counters on things that don't already have counters on them. Hey, Rock Banana! Welcome to a live one. Thanks for sticking around for 3 years. Okay, sweet. Solid first game. I want some Fateful Absences. Falco seems good against the Vanishing Verse deck. Gala Greeters seems kind of slow here. It doesn't block the Death Toucher particularly well. Maybe I want Portable Hole. It tags Aspirant and their Adventurer. Do I want Hermit? I don't know exactly how many... I guess I have Meat Hook Massacre. I don't know if I want Hermit for just Meat Hook. I have a couple of Innkeepers here. Try and increase our average card quality a little bit. Doesn't seem like racing to accelerate is something we necessarily need to be doing in the post-board games here. We'll put this into play tapped, and then we'll play this out on white. Is this a spell or a land? I think it's a land. I think they're probably going to have a 2-drop I want to get rid of next turn. Because if I hold this and they play a 2-drop and then I Portable Hole, I feel really bad about my sequencing. I did not have a 2-drop, Sedge. I'm gonna 2-for-1 this. I'm gonna pitch the Portable Hole. We played Endless Detour in the last deck we played. And it was pretty reasonable. We do this, we can get haste cats with our Chariot next turn. Old man yells at Pokemon. Thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. If you're someone that's into Pokemon Unite stuff, we usually switch over to that about 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
I will show you what happens when the spy... A gift in exchange for loyalty.
Get Falco down here. I guess playing Falco out isn't great into Meathook Massacre.
Come, I'll tell you a secret.
I'll tell you a secret. Oh, you know, I should play my land out first in case they have a down tick.
And I will protect. I've made plenty of connections.
Alright, I guess we have a 2-2. Rough beats. They probably have an Emperor here, right? Gonna chill for now. Big Emperor energy, right? Pass with 6 mana up, 4 cards in hand. Good exchange for us.
It's bold to bargain with me.
Their spider tokens have reach.
City's tearing itself apart.
Oh, he does have trample. It's a good shout.
I hope you're ready to lose.
They did have Emperor. Brutal. Yeah, trample's a good shot. I forgot Falco had trample. It's been a while since we have a playable flame player.
This is what you get for hurting my people.
I always reward the loyal.
Show them how we greet our enemies.
I won't let Kamigawa fail my faith again. I know something you don't know.
A lot of planeswalkers, chat. Actually lost the second match with Gates Trax because we had Maze's End in our deck instead of literally any other land. It was big sad. Our opponent also doesn't realize Falco has trample. Good beats.
I'll be back.
Do what I demand.
I think I'm gonna do this. It kind of sucks into Meat Hook Massacre, but doesn't suck into Meat Hook Massacre. Yeah, worried by their planeswalkers at this point. Want hermits here. Like, it kind of feels like they boarded up. Maybe they just hit a different half of their deck this game. They definitely didn't have things as interested in portable holing or skyclaving, really. Maybe all of these is too many. Stuff. It really feels like we get squeezed into a wrong half problem here very easily. And that's a big problem with the creature deck getting to play a sweeper, right? Like, it's so awkward that we have to, like, be prepared to play against it. It's a good example of why when I talk about beating Meat Hook Massacre, I'm not just talking about beating the card Meat Hook Massacre. I'm talking about beating the decks that play Meat Hook Massacre. Because it's not just as simple as like, okay, we can negate the meat hook. It's like, I have to be able to stop the meat hook when stopping the meat hook is important, but I also need to not lose to all of their creature plans as well. Which is very, very common in these archetypes. Skyclave hits Halfwalkers, kinda. It doesn't hit the most important one, which is Lulth. And, most importantly, Skyclaving things that cost more than 2 mana, generally speaking, isn't a great plan. Because if you Skyclave something that costs more than 2 mana, they're getting a large token back when they meat hook you and kill your Skyclave eventually. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and like, this is exactly what I'm talking about, right? Like, okay, I pulled out my Skyclave Apparitions and I put in Malevolent Hermit, and now I'm gonna die to Nadar Selfless Paladin instead of dying to Meat Hook Massacre and Planeswalkers. It's such an awkward tension when your deck is, like, you're basically just flipping a coin. You're like, okay, I'm gonna board in answers, and I'm gonna hope that the answers line up into the half of your deck that you drew this game. And then when it doesn't, you're just kinda bent over. Have Disdainful Stroke for my thing here too. Yeah, just gonna get buried here.
For the sake of all Innistrad, my will must be paid. Nothing on Innistrad is free.
Yeah, correct, Sleethros. And Meat Hook's just a win condition in your creature deck on a lot of boards too, right? Like, you attack your opponent low enough, then you just like cast Meat Hook and it burns them out.
You wish to know my secrets? Very well.
I think Sylveon's really good patches. I like Mystic Fire Sylveon. Are you assault vesting? Or are you a coward who has caved to play other items? I take the opponent's archetype as a deck submission, but in general, decks that I tend to pick to play are not stock tier 1 decks. The venture cards are kind of slightly not stock. But the rest of their deck is basically just like a stock, one of the best decks in the previous format. At least before the set released. Esper, obviously we don't have things fully settled now, but the Esper deck was previously one of the best decks in the standard format before this set released. There's a gameplay early leaked footage on Espeon, but like we don't know any of the numbers, obviously. So you kind of see what the moves look like, but it's hard to know if the character will be playable or not until we see metrics for it. Manny Bamonte, 2 months off of being extra nice. Thank you for the 67 months. On time, Tampland. Welcome to the party. Someone in my YouTube comments pointed out that this card, draws a card with the 2/5 vampire that Flash is. Definitely feels like something to explore at some point. And it's a vampire, so it draws cards the other way too. And they draw cards in both directions. So let's go Innkeeper. And then we'll go Janine. And then we'll make treasures. Which will be doggos that trigger the life gain. And now, unfortunately, they still enter tapped. I really wonder what combo they were worried about making the treasure tapped. Maybe they were just like preempting something coming up in the future. Yeah, we literally already played that deck of Magical Cow. It's in the Explorer playlist up on the YouTube channel. As is oft the case, checking the YouTube channel is a good source of has Jeff played X. Oh shit, the Gala Greeters are getting progressively louder. So the problem here is I don't really have great attacks, right? And then next turn their wedding announcement pops off. I guess our Gala Greeters will eventually outscale their board, but they also have more cards in hand than me. Would really like an Ascendancy or something to break this board parity. Falco would be nice. Trying to play aggro decks Explorer, then you remember Meat Hook exists. Have you been getting Meat Hooked a lot in Explorer? I haven't experienced that myself. Elspeth could find us Brokers Ascendancy. The question is then the problem is then she just dies in the air. It's probably worthwhile though. A turn with Broker, a turn or two with Brokers Ascendancy, we win the game.
If a fight's coming, I'll be on the front lines. May your peace last.
Do I take their wedding announcement so I have better attacks starting next turn? I think that's the play, right? Yeah, the fight rigging deck definitely does not care about. Definitely does not care about, Meat Hook Massacre. Am I just supposed to attack here? Now I'm gonna wait because they're gonna attack my Elspeth, right? Like it's just gonna play more stuff out. I think we're just supposed to attack, right? We're at 40. This feels like we're falling more and more behind, so just get in here. Mediocre black-white mid-range cards, definitely on my list of things to play and explore at some point. Mediocre green-black mid-range on that list as well. I don't know if this attack was worth giving up Jinnie. We'll find out, I guess. Guess I don't have that many blockers left. It wants Abrupt Decay? I'm not even sure that's true, D-Canadian. Abrupt Decay doesn't kill Winota. If we activate Lair, are they dead? They're gonna have at least 6 blockers. So assume they block these 6, and then they take 6. No, it doesn't look like it. But we can continue pressuring them into trading off their board, though, with decent exchanges, so. So they're gonna exile a Gala Greeters here, I assume? And I suppose they also probably want to send a flyer in to kill Elspeth, right? They let me keep Elspeth? Okay, that's a bold strategy. You want a flying blocker? I think I want to give Gala Greeters flying, right? Want flying or first strike on the Chariot?
Win it.
Probably flying, right? So that way if they want to kill it, they have to double block with these. I'm actually not certain these attacks are great, but... The attacks are looking like they pan out for us okay here. This is them going to 1 and losing a cat and an innkeeper. I lose 2 dogs and a lair. Seems fine for us. There's still some pressure on them to be able to take Elspeth off the table next turn. Is Scheming Fence the 2-drop 2/3? If so, I don't think that card's very good.
Our swords will
Yeah, I don't think that card's particularly playable, Matt. Its biggest problem is that it's a 2-drop that you just like don't want to play on the second turn of the game. And if you're playing a card on the later turn of the game to answer something like Chariot or a Planeswalker, you'd rather just like play an actual removal spell, especially an Esper, right? Like why would I want to play that instead of just playing Vanishing Verse? It's a reactive hate bear, and hate bears are good because they're proactive cards, typically speaking. I disagree with that. Vanishing Verse is still very good. Okay, it's kind of like, are we looking at the same game board talking about Vanishing Verse not being very good? Also, like, you're talking about turning off cards like Chariot and Planeswalkers. Vanishing Verse hits almost every relevant Planeswalker and other thing in the format, right? Jetmir is terrifying. It lets them start being proactive while also still blocking. That probably wins them the game. I think we're dead, fam. We're not dead this turn, but I don't know that we can win the game anymore. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Removal spell would be lethal for me, because they're not gaining life this turn. 5, 6, 7. No, they need 9 for double strike, so they're 2 off of that. After the Esika's Chariot, before the Esika's Chariot copies. Otherwise, we would be literally dead. And this tramples, so there's no reason really to block it. I want to have them dead to Skyclave Apparition off the top.
This war is getting out of hand.
Yeah, I think we're dead, chat. Really impressive stabilization from the opponent. I am not sure that this card is constructed playable. I think the topic you were discussing is fine, Meadow. Just giving you my perspective on it. I don't think that 2/3 is good for the reasons that I listed. It's definitely a Fateful Absence matchup. Cathar is probably good. A few tokens, other things we don't mind taking. Falco's pretty mediocre into opposing Skyclave Apparitions. I'm just not sure if this card's playable in general. That was a really, really whelming impact there. We have a couple more chances, I guess. It's awkward that this exiles itself and returns it to play when it transforms, so you can't, like, Elspeth and then still have the shield counter on it when it eventually goes away. I think conniving with Disturb cards is good. Like, connive with Hermit, and there's a 2/3 with Lifelink that disturbs back, that's a 2-drop. I think there's probably a good Esper shell that plays that and Hermit with the connived Orko. Yeah, Denek. Yeah, that core seems good. Hermit's just a pretty generically good card in this format. Hand needs a 3rd land and ideally a 4th, but pretty good otherwise. Okay. Not untapped, but Beggars Shan't Be Choosers. I'm not sure I'm a fan of the Gala Greeters Janine aspect of the deck. The more Janine Gala Greeters seemed like a really good 1-2 punch on the surface, but the more I play with them, the more the fact that Gala Greeters tokens come into play tapped is just super awkward. You just like can't ever make haste cats because they're tapped. And the 3/1s are kind of medium. Because there's so many miscellaneous 1/1s in the format. The tap treasure from this is such trash, chat. I can't go 2 into 3 because the treasure's tapped. That's bad, man. I'd rather go wide here than get the Brokers Ascendancy down sooner. We'll see, that could be wrong. Our opponent agrees going wide is good. Yes, the double safety valve feels strange. It does, like, it feels like it shouldn't have been both tapped and once per turn. Double tap land might be too slow on the draw. Let's find out. Untapped on 2 sounds lovely. That too slow on the draw is going to be coming to fruition here. Gala Greeter. Gala Greeters is so mediocre when you're behind. And then we got a Skyclave Apparition on this turn, right? Ooh, okay, so now with Emperor drawn, nah, I think we still just got Skyclave, right? Because I want to trigger my Gala Greeters this turn. So this gets us up to 7 mana for next turn. Yeah, these will start gaining me some life here in the long term at least. We got that going for us, so I can use my life total as a little bit of a punching bag in the short term. So next turn, I can Janine plus Emperor, and then maybe there's a route to stabilization from there. Got a 3. that being their play with their mana is incredibly good for us. Can I kill them on the backswing? This adds 8 power to the table. 8, 17. Ha! They're actually just dead on the backswing.
Feel the energy of battle. Then we must protect the people.
Kind of impressive. I don't think our opponent expected to die from 17 there. I didn't expect him to die from 17 there. Emperor letting you trigger Gala Greeters on their turn is really strong. You know, not only double Gala, but being able to interact with it via flash. Felt good there. I think this card is not great. I think I'm picking up what the Gala Greeters are putting down. In fact, if anything, I kind of want a 4th one. Can I add a 4th Gala Greeters and another Janine? Is that allowed? Someone in chat was asking about this, and I think the answer to their question is what they were saying. If you do this and Janine turns them into 3/1s, they're 3/1s that can't be blocked, right? Or is the can't be blocked part of the token type? It's a trait of the fish? I don't know. Yeah, it's probably, and actually, I probably don't want to put this card into my deck where I'm playing Elspeth. Wedding Announcement is probably the droid we're looking for, right? Like, this card is good with Janine, it's good with Gala Greeters. This is probably the droid we're looking for. Should probably just be in the deck. What do we cut for the 3 cuts? Do we just like trim around the edges? But if we just, like, cut the one of Falco, like, cut a March, cut a Skyclave? You want to trim a Sanctuary Warden? I don't know. I think it's important to have these bomb diggities at the top end of our curve for our ramp. If anything, I just added a 4th Gala Greeters, and 4th Gala Greeters make Sanctuary Warden better. Hey, Caldness, thanks for the 2 months. Welcome back. Falco does not take counters off a Wedding Announcement, only creatures. I think some of these in the sideboard, like, I think 2nd Falco is better than the Toski. Cut an Ascendancy? You're crazy. Get out of here. All right, let's start here. I want to do more of the Jinnie Gala Greeters, and Wedding Announcement is another good card that you can hit with Elspeth. So let's do this and play a match or two, and then we can go from there. Ascendancy is very good, like it is. I think having counter spells out of our sideboard for the Meat Hook Massacre matchups is very important. In addition to Ascendancy being good, having access to counter spells is important for creature decks in this format. Just the best third defensive item, Bread. Also, like, having plus 15% health and a good chunk more defense against opposing special attackers goes a long way. Especially things like Gardevoir, you literally dance circles around Future Sight Gardevoir. I actually think the special attack matchup for Sylveon has a lot of play and counterplay to it. I've been converted to the Church of Assault Fest. It's good, I'm telling you. Okay, last game I said it felt like the Gala Greeters in the draw were too slow. Is this actually going to be too slow? How do you get those? You purchase items using tickets or coins in the store. Just like dead to rights to this flyer, right? Again, my treasures are tapped. From now until eternity. We gain 4 and make 2 treasures. We played Maze's End for over an hour. I started like 8:15, 8:30. Want to be Kurt? Maze's End itself was bad. The Maze's End itself was bad. The Gates deck actually felt okay. I actually disagree that we need new items in Unite. I wish they would make the unplayable held items playable. I think adding new items when there's a bunch of designs that are close to being good but just have bad numbers is kind of silly. Rune of Speed with Reflection of the Kiki-Jiki is something that happened to us the other day, and it seems really gas. In the air. Sedge. Definitely a matchup where we need to kill all of the things. What are we trimming to fit in our things that kill all of the things? More ramp, probably. Need three more cuts here. Would I rather have Chariot or Wedding Announcement? Chariot has a more immediate board impact, right? So it's probably better. I think I want to keep my other top ends here. I think it's important that I have card advantage at the top end of my curve. The problem if you don't have any card advantage in your deck in a matchup like this is you're just going to 1-for-1 them a couple of times and their 2-for-1s will bury you. I think Sanctuary Warden's a playable Magic card. Oh, shoot. Mistakes. I was like, this is fine 3-4 on the play. I actually don't have double green for this card. Oof. We were one match off of Mythic at one point today, chat. It's been a rough day. What items would you recommend for the tree? Double band barrier or double band weakness policy. Dealer's choice. If you're newer and have more limited resources in the game, double band barrier is better. Weakness policy is a more narrow item. Speed? Green. This now, and sorcery speed, so that way we get the Brokers Ascendancy trigger on the Emperor and her token. I mean, the alchemy queue times were rough before Explorer existed, and they made the other alchemy queues more lucrative. I think the problem is more so they added more queues than anything.
Keep watch for intruders.
Think I have to just cash in Emperor there. As sad as it is. Can activate Lair on the end step there to get a counter. You actually can't activate Lair with X is equal to 0. And even if you could activate it with X is equal to 0, it's not a particularly good play. Oh, wait, I could tap it for itself, you're saying? No, I got you. No, you're right. I had 2 mana and I could have tapped itself. In my brain, this card can't tap to activate itself. But you're actually correct. I had 2 mana and we could have tapped it and 1 to say X is 1, but it would be tapped. No, you're correct. That's a good shout.
die by coin or carnage. Tribute is owed. This isn't over.
Hey, Jack, thank you for the 26 months of Prime. I really appreciate it. Welcome back. Janine plus Wedding Festivity, getting to flex here a little bit. Brokers Ascendancy also showing off why it's good. This card also plays really well into Meathook Massacre because it just lets you outsize their stuff. Actually, only alive because Meathook had gained them life. Grow, my children, grow. Solid. Just completely outscaled Meathook Massacre. This is a March matchup. Feels like the answer is no. Maybe it is a Skyclave matchup. I'm inclined to cut Innkeeper in a grindy matchup like this. It just gets swept away by a Meathook Massacre. The life gain is nice, but I'll still have life gain from Gala Greeters and Emperor. I trim 3 of them and leave the 3 Skyclaves in. Now the Ban Obnixilis people can calm down a little bit. Well, you know. I hope you feel better soon, Makeout Summer. These are a few of my favorite things. Chat, they took away my Broker's Ascendancy. Why ever would you get rid of that one? I don't understand. Please explain. What did the Broker's Ascendancy ever do to you? Meathook for 1. Man, they aren't having any of Gala Greeters shit today, chat. It's like, nope, get it out of here. We're dashing the underdog from hand. Yes, I agree with that assessment. The aggressive Meathook there likely implies a second. In fact, because it implies a second, I'm going to chill and pass with Emperor up here, rather than play out the Esika's Chariot.
Now you've done it. That's come along. May your blade strike true. Strike fast and strike hard.
Yeah, counter spell's a great pickup here. I'm just gonna chill for sure. Draw my card, flip my thing over. Someone asked earlier why we didn't go Naya instead of Bant. And this is why, chat. Brokers Ascendancy is also very good, as that first game showed, but it's so important to have counter spells in your creature deck right now. Yeah, Feather in the deck queue, in fact, right now. That's what I'm looking forward to getting around to. Wargy edited it using the promo. Haste cat, baby haste cat. Yeah.
We must protect the
Meow. Janine plus Emperor feels pretty good too. Even if the read on the second meat hook was wrong, I think it's still correct. I think it's still a good read. Especially with the negate giving us the flexibility to play around it. Like, we were so far ahead, there's no reason to play into it. We had plenty of board pressure. Oh, BT Dubs, folks, has been formally announced, but I've been hinting at it, mentioning it, that it was likely a possibility, but I'll be broadcasting the Pokemon Unite Championship Series AOS Cup Finals this weekend on Saturday and Sunday and twitch.tv/Pokemon Unite. If you haven't checked out the game before and you want a chance to see some high-level play, be part of the broadcast team for that. Excited to be back for it. Let's just curve into this. You know, I could also... Do I want to Emperor next turn, or do I want to just March, pitch a wedding announcement, get rid of this Aspirant? Feels kind of close. Like, I have 3 wedding announcements. I'm probably not going to have time to use all these wedding announcements. I like March pitch here, you know? Yeah, I think the theory behind ramping to the Warden was fine, but I think just the consistency of it happening is just not particularly high. Oh, man, 4 mana no plays, whatever could that mean? Now, our Emperor could get Vanishing Burst here.
I have got new moves to teach you.
They are Esper. They don't cast any spells super far ahead.
Years of training for this.
I bring forth to this work. You will serve me well.
That's close. This might have been... It might have been right to use this as a spell, but... Greeters into Wedding Announcement is kind of hard to pass up here. not sure my body is ready to get meat hooked for 3, Chip.
My ways are not for the weak.
Not a meat hook. Deal or no. God bless us, everyone. I think I'm holding on to this to trigger our greeters potentially on a future turn. We have plenty of lands, plus some treasure generation from Gala Greeters.
You can deal with my servant. I'm busy.
Point me towards the fight. I'm ready. You're safe now.
I think we've died, fam. I think we've died. Negates and Hermits looking like they're about to be real good here. We don't have a meat hook massacre in our deck to play catch up. And honestly, even if we did, like, they have planeswalkers here too. So Hermits and Negates and Innkeepers out angle. I think in most attrition matchups that aren't super hammering our life total, we just want to pull this out. We still have some life gain in the mix. It's just a pretty individually weak card. Farewell doesn't hit planeswalkers, right? So even Farewell doesn't do it in that instance. Keep. This is a scotch awkward. Am I casting this on 2? Maybe I'm casting this on 2 actually. Let's do that. Let the greed consume us. We're gonna draw running lands. We're gonna cast this on 2. Nailed it. Never didn't have it. Magic is a skill-based game. Do-da, do-da. Bum 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 ba-da-da-dum. Bum ba-da-da-dum. Bum ba-da-da-dum. Bum 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 ba-da-da-dum. Meow, chat. Excuse me? They have nothing? Oh, they have a 4 to target attacking creature. Got it. It's just like priority was passing, and then it paused once I was in combat. I was like, ah, no! We're gonna lose this game to muscle memory. So, normally, there's an extra click inside of combat to go between blockers and damage. But because my creature was removed, it skipped that step because there were no longer things attacking. So I clicked with the expectation that there was a, yeah, that's what happened there. I just, you know, it sucks.
Pennis starting to feel like home. And this is my city. And I'm going to protect it.
Yeah, you have to click to deal damage. Yeah, it's one of those things where it's just like, this is not great. That's really poor interface design. And it's inconsistent in that way. And punishes you for having muscle memory. I mean, I've now lost 2 Brokers Ascendancy triggers. So yeah, the game's probably going to be lost because I didn't have 2 Brokers Ascendancy triggers. It's the difference between getting meat hooked here and not getting meat hooked here. These would be 5/5s right now if we hadn't gotten interfaced. They're actually just dead, right? I just like can't pressure into their things because my things are too small. There's the part where they show me they have the 3-1 split because they're the greed incarnate every time. This is such a greedy split, chat. That's frustrating. If we hadn't clicked through that, we would have had enough pressure from the cats that they would have been forced into blocking and trading. And we'd have been in a very good spot. Full control for each pass phase. I mean, I don't want that. I just want it to, like, once it starts combat, to execute combat the same way. How many times do you get Legion Agents on turn 4 where they're the 3-1 split? It's like when Yori and Dex have their 2-up sideboard card on turn 2. Yeah, exactly. It's like, statistically, you should not be doing this to me, but this is Magic the Gathering, so here we are. How many times have we played against Esper in a row today, chat? Is the 3rd or 4th match? It's like the third or 4th Esper matchup in a row, right? I assume Skyclave is about to get Vanishing Burst. We gonna meat hook for one? Or just draw your card? Sure. This game feels pretty over.
Now,
Opponent concurs. At least we know how we're sideboarding in this matchup for the most part. Some negates in. Dan needs another white or blue land, but otherwise it's pretty good. Perfect. Two, three, four, curving right and out the door. Elspeth is really good, Good Boots. I don't know about everything that we're doing, but Elspeth is certainly good. Speaking of, we actually get Elspeth next turn now, right? I guess if they pass with mana up, I probably just want to pass with Wandering Emperor back. Hopefully they like play a Kaido. They're winning an outspent deal. Brokers Ascendancy?
Your job is an opportunity to learn more. You're safe now.
Actually, never lucky. Alright, step one. We didn't get Meat Hook Massacre. That's true. Glass half full. We're not about to brick a bunch with Elspeth. Yeah, we haven't seen Sanctuary Warden much. And which is actually sad, because like that 6-drop would be really good in these Esper matchups. Whose shield counters do? They prevent damage the first time it would take damage or be destroyed and then are removed. That is a phenomenal draw.
Show him what you got.
See first strike on you. Just make these Gala Greeters bigger. Want to grow them up out of meat hook range. Going on, Dylan. Afternoon. That's aggressive. They have a Wandering Emperor? No? What is this attack? You think it's just Meat Hook? I mean, it can't be Meat Hook, right? These things just don't have any damage on them? Yeah, maybe they forgot First Strike on the Gala Greeters. They probably didn't realize the First Strike was a counter. So it stays permanently. You know, I should have done this in response. So they can't draw a counterspell. Honestly, if they have a counterspell, I'm gonna fight over this. Our board is big enough that we can just ignore Meat Hook. Yeah. Emperor triggering Gala Greeters on their turn is superb. Let's do one or two more with this, and we're gonna slide along to a second standard deck for the day. We've got, speaking of Esper, we've got an Esper mid-range deck submission. I'll be checking out as our second deck today. Yeah, I think they had Meat Hook, but forgot I had First Strike on my one Dorko is definitely what happened there. And we had the negate either way, so like even if they had remembered, it didn't really matter. But I think that's the explanation for what their attack was there. Actually, just every match. I guess I could theoretically just be blue-white, right? But I'm sure there's a black land coming. Technically still just blue-white. I think I am actually just gonna go ahead and pass here. I don't want to think. This feels like a main deck counterspell format. And I think with this drawn to be a removal spell for Aspirin here, I'm just not going to play into like a main deck Stroke or Negate in this instance. Decline attacking into a Wandering Emperor here.
I am the Emperor of Kamigawa, and I will protect. May your blade strike true.
May your blade strike true.
Remember your training.
So if I Skyclave their Skyclave, I can trade my cat for their Emperor. Can I get a 4/4 out of it? Think they have March? I don't know. I think if they're using March on a token, that's fine.
I'm never done for good.
I don't think I want to play around March there. Then if they're marching a 2/2, they're not marching the 4/4. I think that's still a net win for us. I actually want to hold on to this Innkeeper. I could Innkeeper Treasure Chariot. Oh wait, actually I have the mana from this, never mind. I don't want to use the treasure to cast the Chariot this turn because the treasure is actually my second white. And if we draw like a Sanctuary Warden or an Elspeth, I want to be able to cast them. But they have 0 black mana in play, so not currently concerned about Meat Hook Massacre. It's just tap land go again here. Could be another Emperor for sure. They could also just be bricking off, but yeah. Smelled like it,
Who
shit.
harms my people must contend with me. Let your blade do the talking.
Blade do the talking.
May your blade strike true.
We split like this. Actually, I'm gonna send the Chariot at the Emperor. So this way, if they want to block and kill this, they have to take the extra hit here. Oh yeah, I definitely want to kill the 2/2 more than the 3/3 Magic Arena. Thanks for the suggestion.
See you later.
Bye, Felicia. Chat, do I just assume they're the Esper deck? I just assume they're the Esper deck missing black mana? And board accordingly? I think that's the line, is assume they're the Esper deck and they were missing mana, and we just board as such. It's the decision of which land we're playing first, easy. Nailed it. In the most depressing sort of way, we were correct.
During my travels. Let me show you.
19 months away from being nice. I am a patient man. Thank you for the 50 months, Pokemon Nerd. Thanks for the tier 3. Welcome back. Chat, the new triomes not being called triomes. We need to just embrace calling them tricycle lands, okay? Tricycle race, tricycle race. I want to ride my tricycle. We want to ride the trike. Oh, because they cycle. Yes, because they cycle. That's the joke.
Almost sad to see you go. I'm not overconfident. You're just underwhelming. Keep watch for it.
Seems like good beats, Gala. I don't know if this exchange was correct, but them getting to sit there and connive every turn seems not great for us.
Many secrets I don't know, but not I know something you don't know.
Guards, to me. Show them how we greet our enemies.
There's no secret I can't uncover.
Feels like we're getting buried in a way we can't catch up from here. I think doing during my upkeep, killing the Hermit. Sure. The Kamigawa Planeswalkers kind of sound like English anime dubs. I don't know that I've watched enough English anime dubs to have an opinion on that.
I have got new moves to teach you.
No good blocks here. They've built their own Brokers Ascendancy, chat. They have this sitting here, ticking up, drawing extra cards is the problem.
This is a juicy secret.
I can take their Kaido now, but we're just so far behind on board. We're down on cards in hand. Let's go to the third game on the play here. He wants Falco in this matchup. Our Skyclave Apparitions have felt kind of mid-lang. Let's try it. Let's swap that. The biggest tell that New Capetta is a fantasy world is that Broker's Ascendancy is meant to resemble bank interest. You don't acquire a 1/1 counter on all of your things every turn, Andrew? Regardless of their size? My bank accounts get a 1/1 counter every turn. One of your finest treasure tokens, please. We're actually vanishing versing the Gala Greeters instead of the Hermit. That's interesting.
The system can't fix everything.
I get 4 1/1 counters a month, and then the government takes one of them to put soldier tokens on the board. Oh, chat, stop it with the reality. Oh, no. A land would have been nice there. Would have preferred holding up Hermit. Didn't matter.
I'll be taking that now.
Really? Okay. Started doing better with Brokers Ascendancy when I cut bad cards for good ones. Mood. Alright, I think we're just chilling on our counter spells, chat. Hang out and vibe over here. Six packs is a guaranteed rare wild card, but then you're also able to open rare wild cards inside of boosters as well. And every 30 packs, that wheel is a mythic instead of a rare. And this is, again, just the problem with playing against these Meathook Massacre decks. Like, I have these negates, and I need to sit on them so I don't get savaged by something, but they're just, like, not drawing their spells that are negatable, because Meathook Massacre gets to get played in creature decks. Yeah. Just like, I think it's correct to be sitting on these negates, but it's definitely not working out for us. At least we have something to match their aspirants now. Glass half full. Just to address what you said there, Drunk Owl, I'm with you on, obviously, what happened with the Supreme Court is awful, but your framing of the comment towards the Democrats shows a fundamental misunderstanding of what the problem is. The Democrats are not adjusting the Supreme Court because they're cowards. The Democrats aren't adjusting the Supreme Court because there are a number of conservatives that are Democrats that won't do something like that. People like Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema have D's next to their name and are confirming judges, but they're very conservative politicians. They are not going to go outside the scope of what is average and considered normal. Yeah, that's T-Beard sums it up right there. The problem is 100% of the GOP and about 5% of the Democrats. Every single Republican is voting to restrict women's bodily autonomy and taking away rights from individuals in America. The problem is that about 5 to 10% of the Democrats are also with them, and those 5 to 10% of Democrats, whatever they are, they deserve just as much criticism as all the Republicans do, but don't lump all of them in together. I don't think I can play Falco here. I think I need to just chill. Maybe I do. So they can meat hook. They have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if they meat hook for 4 next turn, That costs 6, and I can still this. Maybe I am supposed to play this and just leave Hermit up. It's close. If they go land beat hook, I get into a little bit of trouble. Well, Falco actually can't play lands off the top. You only cast things. Thanks for the follow, Ignek. If you want more of my thoughts on everything that's happening with the Supreme Court and stuff, there's a bunch of stuff up on my Twitter. The ! Rogue command is one of the better ones, but yeah, it's not great. So Omega, I'm gonna move off of politics here for a second because I really don't want to. It's so awful. I don't want to rant about it all day. I've said plenty on the Twitter, but what you said there, Omega, is I don't know what it's. I think it's nonsensical. So if the Dems nuke the filibuster, what happens when Republicans are in power? You haven't been paying attention to the last fucking decade in our country. As soon as it is critical for the Republicans to push their agenda to get rid of the filibuster, they'll get rid of the fucking filibuster. It's concern trolling is a good way to put it. It's just like when Mitch McConnell said you can't appoint a justice during an election year because the American people have to have a say, and then they pushed through Amy Coney Barrett during an election year. 3 years later, they don't believe fucking shit and they'll do whatever they want to get what they want. They don't actually care about any of it. It's all smoke and mirrors to them. Days before the election, they didn't actually care. All right. I'm gonna move off of, normally I don't mind talking about politics, but if I'm being honest, I'm just so fucking mad about all of it. I don't want to just sit here and be angry while I'm trying to play. So there's a politics channel in the subs Discord. There's a bunch of stuff up on my Twitter. I'm gonna move off of it. If you'd like to talk about that stuff with Hoaglandia, please do it in one of those two spots. I don't think I can play Wedding Announcement. I think we need to hold up the counter spell, so I think we just pass. With Brokers Ascendancy, we're actually doing okay as far as this board is concerned, so. With the negates and the Brokers Ascendancy, I'm actually feeling kinda okay. They're getting rid of my Wedding Announcement. I think I'm okay with that, right? So we're gonna replace that 1/1 in just a couple of turns. I have 3 for Unite already. Are you playing with Steve and Matt?
Very well.
Wait, we can play Magic without being chat. Magic makes me angry enough. I don't need extra. I need extra help. I'm gonna trade my shield counter here for 4 life. It's really unfortunate we don't have lands. The Magic. Speaking of Magic the Gathering and being angry, like, we're playing this game where we kind of have parity. They just drew their 1 Elf Legion Angel. Yeah, I think I have to go shields down and put Elspeth into play here.
Right. Let's clean up this town.
She does threaten to unite move next turn. We are dead to Meathook Massacre though with this tap out. Also just dead to that. I didn't have anything I could hold up to prevent that though. See chat, plenty to be mad about here. Played a 12 turn game with 5 lands in the top 40 cards of my deck. Alright, we're gonna play. I guess we're gonna play some Esper. I don't know that I really feel like playing Esper rematch just yet. Like this was actually the 4th Esper deck we played in a row. I don't know. After playing this deck, I kind of just feel like we were a shitty Esper deck yet. The Esper deck felt like it is more like Vanishing Verse is still super good. It's so powerful, and not having access to a card like Vanishing Verse feels not great. I mean, the opponent's deck's not really a control deck. They're definitely a mid-range deck. I don't think the opponent's deck is inherently unhealthy. I think it's like fine, like it attacks and blocks, it cares about combat. It's just exhausting to play against the same thing 4 or 5 matches in a row.